You're on.
What is happening, everybody?
You're not gonna do Terry? What it do? What it do?
Know what to do? What to do? What's happening? My name is Can Beats, Doctor. If you're nasty, welcome to Straight No Chaser. I'm your host, Can Beats. I got my. Are you a co-host? Guest? I mean, we You're right. Bi-coastal. Demonte here from Milwaukee via Arizona, via back to Milwaukee. Appreciate you coming on board again. If you tuned in last week, we were that was our first time actually interacting with each other, and it was pretty fluid. So I'm glad you were able to come back. I just want to make sure I reintroduce myself as the host and make sure everybody understands that I'm not a politician. I'm an educator by trade, and we're going to actually talk about a little bit of that today, the education component of politics. But I just want you to hear out, and we can discuss. In the chat, you can actually drop your comments. We'll try to get to them. Demonte and I will be chatting, and then we have Tay behind the boards. Thank you for being my producer, because it is so stress-free to be doing this without having to worry about pushing buttons.
You like it?
I like it. I mean, last week it was kind of like, what do I do? I just sit here. What do I do? But not having to do anything is really it releases the stress. But
I don't be pressing buttons.
You don't. I don't. It ain't necessary. But as I said last week, my background is organizational leadership, and I look at things from an organizational lens, from a leadership lens, and make sure I try to actually have conversations about topics within the city and within the state that actually comes from that perspective. So that's where all of my attention goes. Most times, I do have strong opinions sometimes, and I might just kind of just come out and just say the shit, just take it as it is. But hopefully we can assist in helping you understand a lot of things. And one of the things is getting out to vote. We're not telling you who to vote for, but just get out and vote and do something, and have conversations about the people who you're voting for, so that you don't go out there blindly. But with all that said, tonight at 7:00 on WISN on channel 12 locally. If you're on YouTube, it's on WISN's YouTube page. The gubernatorial debate with 6 of the gubernatorial candidates, or 5. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 tonight, but they're all going to be tonight on channel 12 at 7:00, immediately following this podcast. So I'm going to try to wrap this up in enough time for you guys to go over there, because I want to watch it myself and see what these candidates are talking about. The race is still bananas.
It is.
Saw David Crowley pop back in.
Very interesting. I just learned this week I better not never run for politics if they going back that far.
Man, the Twitter fingers, don't have your Twitter fingers twittering.
I was like, damn.
They found Dirk McGirt. And it ain't old dirty bastard Dirk McGirt.
That was personal though. Come on now. Somebody had, yes.
Absolutely. They found his Twitter page from 20 years ago.
Because why not do it when he ran for county?
Exactly. He's run a couple campaigns. What was he before he was county executive? He was something before county executive, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know, but you think that would have dug it up then, but they dug up as a 24-year-old with Twitter. So his excuse, David Crowley was, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, David Crowley's old Twitter page allegedly was discovered. Dirk McGirt is his Twitter handle, and he had some derogatory things he had been saying about different communities and different things. It's more so just his young man's Twitter page talking crazy, talking reckless on the internet, like some of us all do.
I don't think he did it.
You don't think he did it?
Do y'all remember this time? Do y'all remember trying to figure Twitter out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a hard time, so sometimes you should just say stuff.
You say stuff to see if it was a mistake.
hold that to this man.
Only reason I say this is because what's the odds of him being on Twitter? That page has been sitting dormant for a very long time.
Exactly.
Right? And Twitter back then, everybody was outside. We was kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, Elon is actually the owner of this. So, and it's split names.
Yeah.
So what's the odds of if it's sitting dormant and also sticking that long?
Well, okay. Personal experience. I remember one time I found out my girlfriend was cheating on me, right? So I was bored. I had time. So I went through her Twitter page one time to see if there was some evidence. Do you know what it takes to actually find all these old tweets and go back to this stuff? Them people had a lot of time.
Oh,
it's there.
The search.
Yeah,
oh, they
no, they went and put the search in and put the name because it was personal. That's why.
Yeah, some
you can get right to it.
I remember
you can go on your phone right now and put in one word that I want to find.
I remember one time I had posted, "What is David Crowley's street name?" And people were like, "Oh, you clowning, you clowning, you clowning." And it was just because I knew what it was. I wanted to know if people were going to say it. Nobody said it. Nobody said it.
Oh,
nobody posted it. Nobody was like, "Hey, you tripping though?" It was like 40 comments, and people were like, "You out here trying to be dirty." It was amazing how much allegiance he had. Like, but people were inboxing me. And I was like, I know. I was just trying to see who was going to say it. So the fact that it came out means that somebody
deliberately did it.
Somebody deliberately did it. Somebody deliberately disclosed that. So, so I guess his excuse was that his password has been passed around through a few people.
That's a fact. Because remember back in the day, you did share your friend's page.
And people would get on there. And,
anybody could get on there.
Oh, there's a lot of tricks. People would actually go to sleep and get on there. You know,
yeah.
My friend, we used to rap.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, Cam Beats is the wackest. I'm the best." And he put his name, and I wake up and like, this man got into my page or whatever. Right. But so he claims that someone else had his account and was posting. But there was one post that just came out of nowhere that he was giving him a shout out for his birthday. Happy birthday to me, Dirk McGirt. It was like the R. Kelly episode on the Boondocks. Security number 3665. Anyway, but he's still standing on the fact that he
didn't do it. If y'all don't got the video, he ain't do it.
Hey, he's gonna move on. He's gonna move on and do it. But
well,
what?
I didn't come up with his street name. I just asked Claude
that was personal. It was personal.
Yeah, because Claude couldn't come up with what his street name was. So I don't even know about Dirk McGirt.
Okay. I didn't know the McGirt part. I just knew the Dirt part. I didn't know the Dirt McGirt, but whatever that.
I mean, I've been at a where was I? I was at a dinner or some sort, and he was speaking. He was a speaker, and he was talking about being valedictorian of the trenches. Like he's open about it.
Hey, that's some street. That's straight street cred. Yeah. You know? I mean, I understand where he comes from because I grew up in the 53206 myself.
Me as well.
I am who I am, and people would never even think that I am or was. But I was kind of like I was never a thug. I never acted like one, but somehow they all were cool with me. Like I was just like I wasn't a celebrity or anything. It was kind of like, hey, don't do no dirt around dude. He might tell him. Like,
did they have you bagging up the?
No, I wasn't that dirty. Like I was in the house. I was outside. I was hanging with him, but I didn't do the dirt. So don't do it.
So Tommy, weigh this up for me.
Sure. Yeah, push the prices up. This is 65.
Count this real quick.
Hey, I want to start off Angela Harris. I want to give Angela Harris props. She's a local educator. I know her husband, Jamel Harris. Very, very active in Milwaukee public schools at the school board meetings and whatnot. She's an educator at MPS. But she put some graphics together that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. But before I get it, I'm going to give her credit. She's using comparative graphics, and she's a spicy teacher, MKE. Interesting name, Angela, but yeah. Spicy teacher, MKE.
That sounds like some other stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
Spicy teacher.
Whether you agree with every conclusion or not, I'm just want to put the format was pretty cool, and it was pretty well-rounded and comprehensive. So I'm going to thank Angela for putting those together. I'm going to give her props. I did not come up with this stuff, and I thought it was great. And I sent it.
I'm gonna drop it. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it.
I sent it to Tay so she can share it. But I don't want to endorse every characterization that's on there, but I just want to make sure that it's a good conversation. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, great. First, I want to actually say this because some of the components on there are where these candidates stand on certain topics like education.
Mm-hmm.
And my background actually is education. I don't know if I said that last time.
Yeah, you was an educator.
Yeah.
Doctor too. You're a doctor too.
I am a doctor, yes. But before that, I was a school teacher and a school administrator in public school and parochial Milwaukee Preparatory School and Milwaukee Charter School. So I have a vast amount of experience, not just as a teacher, but as a school leader. And I just want to clear up some things that are misconceptions in the world, because in those comparisons in the chart, there's a lot of talk about school choice and public funding, public school funding and whatnot. One thing I want to clear up is they lump non-traditional schools together, and they're not all the same. Milwaukee Parental Choice schools are different. Milwaukee Parental Choice schools are parochial schools that actually take vouchers from the state and help pay the tuition. And then there's charter schools. So first, the traditional public school, the MPS, let's just say in Milwaukee, it's MPS, because I think that's a talking point that everybody wants to kind of support. I'm assuming, Tay, is that something you are a fan of as far as education, public school? Okay.
Right.
So the public school is operated by a local school district. It's governed by elected school board, and it's assigned primarily by where you live. I actually take offense to that because it's not always the case, because people are hopping from different neighborhoods to the next. And it's funded by a taxpayer. MPS is funded by the taxpayers of the city of Milwaukee, where you think that every big entity, the businesses, whatnot, that's the highest. They have the highest tax from the constituents in their city. So you figure like Northwestern Mutual is in Milwaukee, so they get taxed, and that money it goes to the public schools there. Charter schools is where everything gets confusing, because people think the charter school is completely different, but charter schools are a public school. It's just like a non-traditional public school, but it's free to attend. They cannot charge tuition. They receive the public funding as well. They have to meet the state academic requirements and the state licensure requirements too. So those things are exactly the same. The only things that they're the curriculum, the staffing, and the instructional model is independent. They get to do what they want. They get to hire who they want. They get to actually instruct the way they want, which actually is an advantage because, like I think I said it on here, when if you're an NPS principal, teachers are just sent to you. You're at a school. You can't go out and like recruit your teachers. The teachers are kind of sent to you from the central office. Like you go and apply. Like, all right, we got a teacher. I need to get our teacher. We got one here. And you interview them, but they are pretty much sent to you by the central office. Really? Whereas when I was a charter school principal, I want Tay. Tay is an extraordinary individual. He teaches very well. I want to try to get him. I'm going to bring him in, and he's going to be a part of my team. I can pick my team.
Okay, my question: how do you even become like on the list to even be a teacher, like with central office and things like that?
It's a central application. So they'll advertise. We need a teacher at 53rd Street School. We need a 5th grade teacher at 53rd Street School. It's just essentially there. So everybody who wants to apply, they apply. And they're put in a pool. The principal individual, they do get to interview them, but it's the pool that's sent to them.
Oh wow!
I can't really recruit who I want to get.
So as soon as I go to school and graduate and be like, you know what, I want to be a teacher, I can fill out that application and I'm in the pool now.
You're in the pool, yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. Whereas, if I have a team and I'm like, man, I got a 5th grade opening, but I need somebody specific for that job, I can actually recruit whoever I want and actually take whatever applications I need to get them. As long as they're licensed, they still have to be licensed. So.
Okay, last question for you. So back when I was going to school in high school, you remember when the high schools had like certain things that they specialized for, like I think Pulaski, we had auto body and mechanics and things like that. So if you had a curriculum like that, would you get somebody specifically for some of the programs, or you just still dealing with the pool?
See, that actually falls into the category of somewhat of a charter.
Okay.
Because it's specialized. So yes, you would still get that pool, but like if you knew, because that's a specialized field. So if you know you need a brake mechanic that teaches brakes, I'm just making this shit up.
You have to meet the prerequisites.
They have to meet the prerequisites. Okay. If I know that, hey, they know brakes, apply, and I can actually say, hey, central office, Tay is the man that actually is really qualified.
Could you ever shape it like that on a regular basis, though? Like, hey, this is a requirement for this class. This grade is struggling in reading, and you have a friend that specializes in this. You know,
somehow schools like Rufus King, which is what is their specialty? I forget. Baccalaureate. I forgot what is it. And I'm saying it wrong. I know I am. Ronald Reagan. Like those schools have teachers specifically in those schools because those schools are high performance schools. So they do something to get the high performing teachers because they don't have high turnover. They have a high graduation rate. They have high test scores. They're doing something that's a little bit different than the other schools are doing. So I think there's a trick, but I just don't know what it is.
I'm sure that's it.
Yeah.
Just to act like everything is specialized.
Yeah, so they don't get the same pool North Division get, or is North Division still a school?
It's still a school.
Okay. I'm actually going to do a cooking class there.
Really?
Next week.
That's
Two
dope.
of them.
That's dope. So going to the voucher schools, which are a lot different. They're privately operated. Families, they use a state fund to actually operate and scholarships to attend. They have way more independence. They can do whatever they want. Like they can hire teachers that are in license. You just can be you can just be a really nice guy and come in and teach. Then they don't have state regulations, and they're often religious schools. So when people say they're against public education support but support charter schools, they actually are inaccurate because charter schools are public. And actually, the teachers union they say that they're against charter schools, but there are charter schools within Milwaukee Public Schools. It's really strange that they actually say that because there are charter schools within MPS. But they kind of differentiate that. But I say that because our candidates actually say all these things about how they are their philosophy on education. So David Crowley's philosophy of education, he is strong public school funding. Actually, I'm gonna go right to the chart. Crowley says, yes, supports fully funding Wisconsin public schools and restoring state investment to at least the historical 2/3 level. He does not support eliminating the vouchers. He wants public schools to be fully funded first and the majority changes to be considered. So he doesn't want to eliminate vouchers. He supports school choice alongside strong public schools. He wants both of them to coexist. Whereas Francesca Hong wants to phase out Wisconsin's voucher program. Do you guys have any opinion on the voucher program?
Okay, so refreshing my memory, is this still the equivalent of back when I was in school, the 220 program?
220 program is only for public schools, and that was to desegregate the schools. So they were ship black kids to white schools and ship white kids to black schools. Obviously, the white kids being shipped to black schools didn't work, except for Rufus King. I think that if they wanted to go to the IB school at Rufus King, they would go there. But the Milwaukee Punter Choice program is the vouchers where there's a separation of church and state, but in Wisconsin, you can actually get state money to go to a religious school.
Yeah, I'm like after doing my research and looking at it, like truthfully, I say the voucher program is cool because it gives people exposure to go to different places, to meet different demographics, to meet different culture, to get a different education level. But then at the same time, when you see how much money it actually costs and how few people it actually serve, it's like you wonder, would that money be better served funding more programs and better education at MPS?
And that's where Francesca Hong stands.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Same as her.
And because I have so many years of experience in each aspect, I'm willing to actually concede to that. I'm actually willing to concede to that, to strengthen the public schools, because the city is failing. The city is failing, and it starts with the education system. And because the dollars are being excluded from there, Francesca strongly supports fully funding public education, increasing general aid, raising special education reimbursement. She wants all that to kind of to go to the public schools, and she believes that public dollars should primarily support neighborhood schools. And I actually believe in neighborhood schools because there are no more. I use 53rd Street as my example because I went to 53rd Street School. I walked to school. I don't know if that happens anymore.
Well, what are we going to do with the schools? So they're going to close some of them down. Well, a lot of them.
Where are they going?
They say there's not enough children
Well,
going to school.
That's because of the vast number of options they have. So what Francesca is saying is cut out the voucher and actually open up the doors to the public schools and have those people not go to the voucher schools and go to the public schools.
Question: how had the charter school affected this? Because I remember a few years ago, I knew just random people that was talking about opening up schools. And they didn't even have like no educational background. They were just like, I'm gonna open up a school. And then I look up and my uncle a teacher, and I'm like, how in the world is this possible when you ain't go to college? So
that has to be the voucher school. The voucher school is different from the charter school. The charter school is a contract through an entity that vouchers for you. So UWM is a charter, MATC is a charter, MPS is a charter. You want to start a school, you actually have to put up a very lengthy application process of what you plan on doing, what your philosophy is, what your standards will be, what your curriculum is going to be. You have to actually convince them that this is what I'm going to do and how you have to be licensed to actually get it going. So, and anybody can start a charter school, but you have to have the you have to have a licensure to have it.
Hold on, Cheyenne Bryan School was only open for 8 weeks now, so anybody can start a school and be a doctor.
That's a whole different thing. I don't even know what the hell that is. That's the college in Indiana. The common factor is that it's a religious school,
right?
It was a Christian, so they could bypass the regulations of the state. So that's actually a perfect example of a voucher school, where you don't really have to go by the standards.
Dr. Umar? Dr. Umar?
I don't know what Dr. Umar's school is. I don't know. I haven't done any research on Dr. Umar's school. So I don't
think it's open yet.
I don't know if it's a charter or it might be a charter school. It might be a charter school, but obviously it's not open yet. So I don't know. But I don't, anybody can start a school, but to be a charter school, you got to have a lot of licensure, and your accolades need to be there, and somebody has to believe in what you're doing. Starting a private school, you can start a private school. Okay. Anybody can start a private school. Do we want to even talk about Tom Tiffany?
So yesterday when my power went out, I went to my sister's house in Hartford.
Speaking of which,
what?
We Energy. I drove by We Energies yesterday and they shit was all lit up.
It's a scam.
My shit was off. But We Energies was lit up. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You was by sister's house.
So I had never seen any Tom Tiffany signs. Y'all?
No.
I go to Hartford. All you see is Tom Tiffany, Trump. That's it. Popular.
Well,
unfortunately. And it's super racist, of course.
He's got about 45% of the nominated support from the Republicans, and
only 45.
I think so, 45 to 55%.
That's low.
Well,
he's only one, isn't he?
It's another person there. Yeah. No, actually, no. Like he's 60. I'm sorry, he's about 60%, and Hong is 44% because she's splitting her.
Let's go,
Hong. Of the Republicans.
No. Just Democrat. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're talking about the ticket
for the nomination, for the nomination of their ticket. So whoever's running against Tom Tiffany, they can wrap it up. Hong is leading by a substantial amount, by like 44. She's leading by like 30% in her category, and her back end is actually growing. Mandela, he opposes vouchers.
Who is that?
Mandela Barnes opposes. He wants to phase out Wisconsin voucher program and keep public dollars in public schools. He sounds like he's doing the same. He's saying the same thing that Francesca Hong is saying. He opposes expanding school choice. He believes public dollars should primarily support neighborhood public schools, and voucher schools lack sufficient transparency and accountability, calls for significant reform and oversight. I do agree with that, and so does Francesca Hong. Republicans believe in school choice. Period. They never. It doesn't matter what if it's religious, they want to actually support it. So
So my question, what is the argument against Tom Tiffany's stance when it comes to the schools, to schooling and education?
He says for public school, he's open to investing more in education, but emphasizes fiscal responsibility and results driven spending as far as for public schools. So Republicans want to take over the public school. They want to actually just they want to control it. You remember they wanted to defund it and make it a state run entity. They want MPS to be state run. So that's the fear that I would have with that. And Republicans are more likely to try to privatize it. Mm-hmm. They try to, make everything independent, and that doesn't seem to be something that's beneficial. Choice in Wisconsin has worked for thousands of families, as Tom Tiffany says. Francesca Honga says, there is no strong democracy without a strong public education. I'm very concerned about public dollars going to private schools. David Crowley says, we need to fully fund our public school systems. Any system that is receiving public dollars should be held to the same standard as our public schools. That's not a very strong stance.
Okay, so over the last 20 years, how has NPS begun to suffer, and what has been the cause of the schools?
They stole that money. Where's the millions?
Well, the leadership that was, I call him Wesley Snipes. Whatever his leadership, he actually was the longest tenured superintendent in Milwaukee for a minute. But there was some good old boys network as far as his hiring. A lot of people in central office were some of his buddies, some of his frat boys and whatnot. People who were probably qualified, but they weren't really held to a very high standard, but their pockets were fat. The new superintendent has come in and flipped that quite a bit and kind of ruffled some feathers, because it started at the top. Actually, the deficit, I forgot what the deficit was, but she's cutting the deficit by trimming the fat, by cutting everybody at the top, making sure that people go back in the classroom. So some of those people who were in the central office are now back in the classroom and the schools. So she's trying to put the best qualified people inside the schools. There's a bunch of money missing. I'm not quite sure if it's missing or it's just mismanaged, because there were some budget numbers that were not disclosed to the state. The DPI was looking for that stuff. They sent letters after letter after letter. If you read the story from last year or a couple years ago, and they were getting unanswered. And reports were supposed to be submitted. And as an administrator, when DPI calls for something, you give it to them. I don't even know what they were doing, but they weren't giving it to them, and they were hounding them for these papers, and they never these reports, and they never got them. So now that they got them, they finding that there's a deficit. Now I don't know where that money is, but the new superintendent is trying to actually fix that right now.
Okay, so with the deficit, is this causing for unhappy teachers that end up going to school and doing a subpar job? Is it lack of books and resources to get the job done? Is it lack of new curriculum and things like that?
MPS teachers are the highest paid teachers in the state. MPS teachers are highest paid. They have the highest salary in the state. Okay. So it's not money. The workload is heavy. They have a lot more to handle in some schools. They have more duties. They have more responsibility. They are probably acting more as the teacher, the social worker, the parent, the therapist. Absolutely, the therapist. They're handling a lot of things, especially if you're highly invested in the school. You're doing a lot, and it wears on you. It wears on you. Either you're really, really dedicated and you believe in the school, you believe in the students, or you say, hey, I can't take this. I'm going to a district that actually has a little bit more support for me, so I'm not the only person doing this. So I don't think there's a lack of funding in the school. I think there's a lack of management of the money that is in the school. You figure the MPS has a $2 billion budget.
$1.6 billion last year.
Yeah.
So my question, I'm sitting here thinking, right, is a lot of the problem, could it be dealing with children with behavioral issues that can cause disruption in the classroom, that can maybe even cause teachers to act out or not even be able to teach properly? Because I could have swore I read something to where somebody was talking about cutting mental health funding, and that's something that plays a major part in these kids going to school.
The parental support, accountability, follow through. There's so much happening in a lot of these schools that being an administrator, you're holding the teachers accountable, you're holding the parents accountable, and you're holding the students accountable. So it's just a lot going on simultaneously. And if you don't have the team that actually is helping you, you're doing it all by yourself.
Mhm.
So there's just a lot of collaboration within the schools that's not what do you call it? They don't really gel together.
Mhm.
Kind of goes back to me being able to hire my team that actually is mission driven. If everybody's not on the same page, you just have a bunch of people doing different things at the same time, and you just kind of just going through the procedures of having a school open to a certain extent. So I'm not in the schools, but I just presume that's the case because I worked really hard to make sure I had a team of people who are all on my team and saying, hey, and like for example, if you have a stand in your classroom and your kids leave your classroom and go to Tay's classroom, and Tay has a different stand in her classroom. So like, can't eat candy in my classroom.
Mhm.
And they go to Tay's class and Tay's handing out candy. And then they come back to your classroom with candy in their mouth. Like, what are you going to be like? Say no candy. Miss Tay let me have candy. So then y'all got beef, teachers. Like, so that's like, you're not even on the same page with the rules of the school, let alone, so just imagine that happening in the 17 different classrooms in a school. It's chaos. It becomes chaos. But you have a leader that's saying, hey, this is how we're going to roll, and everybody is going to actually follow this same rule. You can at least go to Tay and say, hey, we all agreed that ain't no candy. Why are we, why are you not doing it? Why are you not following through?
Okay, you used the word earlier, accountability, and something I've been dealing with earlier is like, what would the oversight look like? Because somebody got to be there to practice oversight to make sure everything is uniformed.
At a charter school, I run that shit. Like, hey, you can't do that, Tay. You have to follow this rule.
Mhm.
And NPS, Tay, you can't do that. I'm filing a grievance. You are harassing me.
And when Tay the Karen.
You're right. You're harassing me. You can't tell me what to do. I'm going to the union. The union says you can't do this. So then I have to actually she's filing a grievance. She gets protected. She's not following the rules, but she gets protected.
And I got some more candy.
But it's very
saying I'm giving out more candy.
Right. And you, hey, what you gonna do? Kind of thing. And if I want to get rid of Tay, I have to go through a lot of red tape to say
over the candy. Damn.
I mean, hey, you messing up my continuity. You messing up the culture.
It went deeper.
The culture of the school starts with small things like that. Yeah. If that thing is not nipped in the bud, if I don't stop that kid from eating candy, motherfucker gonna bring a cousin sub in his motherfucker. What you gonna? It just get bigger and bigger. Because I saw a kid. I was in a classroom once. The kid came out and opened up a bag of Flaming Hots. I was like, who the fuck told you to do that shit? Of course, I couldn't say that, but
right.
What do you think this is? Somebody before them let them do that, and because it was just like it's no big deal.
My daughter, 4 years old, she just got her first backpack for school. She has a cup. When I was going to school, I wish I would have took a cup in the classroom. I wish I would have took a cup in the classroom.
Well, actually, in the classroom, that actually controls them getting up and going, I can't get a drink of water. Can you get a drink of water? Fill up your cup. That's your cup. When it's over, it's done. And then when you go to the bathroom, come back. Because then, you try to, classroom management is having stuff inside your classroom to continuously maintain continuity and control. And once you start letting kids go to the bathroom, once they connect, can I go to the bathroom? I think the whole school is going to the bathroom in your classroom, and then you don't get nothing done.
So, do we got any candidate that you think is strong enough to even come through and enforce these things on the education level?
Good question. Because for me, Hong is kind of no nonsense. Everybody else is kind of straddling the fence to me. Like that whole kind of that Crowley quote. We need fully funded public school systems. Any system that is receiving public schools should be held to the same standard. That's the whole company line. This is a very, very standard company line. Francesca Hong is, there is no strong democracy without a strong public education. I'm very concerned about public dollars going to private schools. All right, so when the money is not going to private schools, I'm trusting that she knows what to do with the money once it this sounds like she's like, hey, we got to actually strengthen our public schools a little bit. Tom Tiffany everybody seems like they're going to the status quo. What's her name? Roy's. We need fully fund our public schools and make sure every child has access to highly. That's just a company line.
So when when the president takes office and he gets to pick his cabinet, when they take over as governor, are they able to appoint the people? Like, would she be able to appoint the new school superintendent and things of that nature?
I think the school superintendent is voted for.
Yeah, that's already voted for. We already voted.
Voted for.
So then, how I know you gotta have bipartisan working together, but how do you work with people that was a part of a broken system before you even took the job?
That's a fact. Because it's that we're working against you too. Because now I gotta wait a year for you to get in line with what I'm saying. Well, you might be opposed to what I'm saying.
So. When you think about I told you, like we said last week, so I had some people who were saying that Hong is too radical.
Yeah.
Or people who are like Mamdani is too radical. Like we don't. You need somebody to push the status quo. And just because you are bipartisan, just because you're not on my team, I'm going to actually work around you to make sure that you actually are doing what I need you to do somehow, and finding a way, not just kind of going along with it. Sometimes you just kind of go along with it. Well, I can't change it until they're no longer here. I think somebody being forceful and being very, very radical can think out the box and actually change the dynamic, I think.
Yeah, and I see she really do try to open the lines of communication with people, so I can see her trying to work with other people as well.
At least trying.
Well, can she fire?
As the governor?
Yeah, like say like what he said, the superintendent. Let's say that she comes up with a plan to actually execute there being the dollars put back into MPS, and the superintendent is giving her too much pushback.
Let's find out. Shoot. No. The governor of Wisconsin cannot fire the state superintendent. The state superintendent is a separate, independent, elected constitutional officer, meaning that they answer directly to the voters rather than to the governor.
Okay, but she can say that we should remove, right? Because we get to decide that.
How a vacancy or removal works. Removal process. An elected state superintendent can only be removed from office through a formal legislative impeachment trial, not by a governor executive order.
But she can assist.
Yeah.
And she can go hard with that.
Yeah, you can go hard with trying to impeach somebody. Like, hey, you're not meeting the standard.
Yeah, these people ain't falling in line.
Radical.
But y'all just said that you kind of like the new superintendent that we got. You think you?
Well, I just know from the leadership perspective, when you dealt a mess, you got to actually do some drastic stuff. And the people, I have a lot of education friends who are like, I'm not really feeling her, but I'm like, well, what else can she do? Like, you can't come in and play the status quo and actually do the same shit that got us in the situation. What were we, $60 million in deficit? That gives some big ass deficit. Yeah. It's a lot of money. You can't just tiptoe through there and be like, well, we're gonna take it. You only got the tenure of a superintendent is like 3 years. You ain't got a lot of time. So I'm gonna come in here and start chopping heads and figuring it out. Even though they get like $300,000 a year.
It's crazy.
I think we're still paying 2 superintendents from their past.
Why?
Because they ended their contract. They fired them before their contract was over.
Who fired?
Did he resign or did he get fired? Posley. I can't remember what happened. Did he resign? I can't remember. Whatever, he negotiated something. He's still getting paid.
Yeah, we need to start over.
Need to start over. So we got about 10 minutes left here, but I want to make sure that I hit everything on here. Remember, on WISN, you can check out the gubernatorial debate. I can't wait. What did I say about Hong? Tom Tiffany represents the opposite philosophy. School choice. He wants to expand vouchers. He wants parental choice to be bigger. He wants fiscal accountability, but
I like the sound of that.
He wants competition. He wants competition amongst education, which is what Howard Fuller started school choice for, to open the competition, because he knew that MPS was not doing the job. So turning back to Hong saying that she wants to actually fund public schools, that's going against everything that Howard Fuller actually came up with, which was bipartisan and which is all of a sudden now heavily Republican. His argument is that parents, not government, should decide where the child goes to school, and the state should actually follow the funding, which I actually did agree with at one point. But it's been 30 years now, and has there been big improvement?
That's why I'm over here asking Claude right now. I want to know, has there been any noteworthy academics that have graduated from MPS? Because I want to see, has there been any scholars that have graduated from MPS? Because I want to know how long the system been broken. Like, do we got anybody that got a good brain that came from MPS? No shade.
I know quite a few people who have graduated from MPS that are highly decorated individuals in the community and students actually of recent years. They just get lost in the sauce because of all the negative press. So I hate to actually be downing Milwaukee Public Schools because I'm glad you said that, because there are a ton of great teachers. A lot of my colleagues are actually individuals who really believe in the system, but a lot of the complaints I'm actually talking about are complaints coming straight from them regarding how the system is kind of flawed, and how the rug is being pulled from underneath the principals, and how they are kind of paper leaders because they don't really control their budget. The budget is already controlled from the top, and they have to kind of just account for it. So I don't know. I think just looking at it, because education's been the same since like 1900.
But
it ain't been no different.
My research has told me that our standout, Dr. Howard Fuller, we made a joke about it earlier, but he graduated from North Division High School.
My parents
North Division High School.
My mother graduated from North Division was the producer of Black Excellence at one point.
I remember that.
All the baby boomers of Milwaukee came from Milwaukee, from North Division, or what was it, Lincoln High School. Those are the two black high schools, because couldn't go to the other high school. If you heard anybody going to Rufus King or Custer, those are the other schools. And very, very rarely, that was way out. You think,
oh wow,
because the black families lived in like 15th and North and Meineke, like over here by Tasty Twist and all that. This was the black.
I've never been to Tasty Twist.
No.
Black Card revoked.
We gotta get you a twinkle coat.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Ice cream cone.
Anyway, we digressed. So I'm going to close with this. I refuse to participate in the false choice that says that we have to love one system by hating another. We're not going to love. We don't do that, but we're big enough to have excellent neighborhood schools, innovative charter schools, and quality private options. The real debate isn't public versus choice. The real debate is whether every child, regardless of zip code, has access to a school that prepares them for adulthood. That's the conversation. So if you are watching the debate tonight, listen to the stances of the individuals who are speaking about education, and if they match what you believe as far as education and what you believe education should be. And as someone who works every day connecting education to careers, I can tell you this: the school model matters less than whether the students leave with the skills, credentials, and opportunities to succeed. So the model of the school has to be strong, the leadership has to be strong, and the individuals that have been hired by the school has to be strong. And everything else falls into place. It happens naturally. I know for a fact Tay's daughter went to a school that was similar to that, where everybody was on the same page. And if you ever talk to Tay's daughter, she is miraculous.
Oh, thank you.
She is hilarious too, which is a sign of high intelligence to me. When you are funny and quick-witted, that means that you're on top of your game, and it came from the structure where it came from home, and it came from the combination of the school. Those two work together to build a child. You think about a triangle. You have to have the school, you got to have parent. The child has no choice but to come into play. You got to have two of the points that work. If you only got 1 point working, it's never going to work. And that's the model that you have to kind of look at as far as successful education. So WISN tonight, Channel 12, YouTube. I don't know. You have any closing remarks?
I enjoyed this conversation, and I hope our education just continue to excel in Milwaukee, because we're a dope city.
I agree. I want the best for our city. Be on the lookout for our next episode. I'm not quite sure what the next topic is going to be, but the gubernatorial race is going to. You never know what's going to happen. Shit.
Might get hung again.
Hey. Might get hung in. We might. She's supposed to be in the vicinity tomorrow. So she's gonna be in Sherman Phoenix tomorrow.
I'm doing it too.
So maybe we can holler at her.
Fuck.
All right. With that being said, thank you for joining us Straight with No Chaser. Hopefully you enjoyed the conversation tonight. And I'm Cam Beats. This is DeMonte.
Love.
Tay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.